game now. Fine.
That's my only response to that, Tesh, because the simple fact of the matter is, like Neil just said, they just don't.
Yeah.
they just don't, and that's just that.
Did you just bring us in live right now?
Yeah.
What's this neutral characters tag?
What's this? What?
It says neutral characters.
Well, what tag would you like to say? I mean, on Thursday, it's good. And you could argue that for a couple of games, but overall, the feeling is
we're literally trying to save the souls of everyone.
Like
we're trying to
Raerin
save
was
the
a
gods.
hero. Yeah, he had the evil characters tag.
and then you have Regicide, which has the evil characters tag, and that applies. That makes sense.
Well, yeah, but they're murder hobos.
Okay, and then
I'm not saying that their entire campaign is racially motivated murder, but that's what Regicide is.
Okay.
Scott's like, I'm getting cancelled. It's okay.
well,
But you've never looked at it like that, Viking? I thought everyone who watched Regicide sort of knew that they were the...
okay. So you're saying that Tyler's into ethnic cleansing?
Well, I've been one up there. I'm gonna go ahead and
sir,
take
I'll
a
see you
step
guys
back
next
from
week.
Tesh is like, I think I'm good. I'm gonna go back to arguing gun control.
Yeah, I'll take that over this.
No, and then to finish up what we were
The
saying.
urban youths all over again.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Again, I reported, I want to say 4 of that. No, I wouldn't report the ones that weren't explicitly racist because I didn't want it to look like I was spam.
Posts.
So I did 4 of theirs. There was one that was on the line, so I didn't report it, but I had to report 4 of those.
A couple more that they'd replied to a different thread that I was able to include.
Oh, gotcha. So. Yeah. I was like, I just wanted, I didn't want it to look like I was just spam reporting a person. I wanted to be like, no, this is precision.
All the
this is
ones
a reason.
I reported were very, very, very racist.
Yeah. What the fuck's the matter with you, man? Or using the line "urban youths," like, and being open about it. You know, do you want to explain why all those urban youths, black people with those guns that are illegal? And I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, it was just like, I'm not even going to respond to just report.
like, oh. But anyways, the other thing I was going to say is, at one point in time, I popped it. I was like, oh, this is still happening. There's a live conversation happening. So I was like, hey, Doxy, how are you? Hope you're great.
Yeah, I saw that. I love that person's response to you coming into that conversation.
Yeah.
That was so good. The knight in shining armor has shown up.
You know what's funny is she responded to that being like, dude, this is actually one of my good friends. And he actually liked that and ended the conversation. Like, yeah, he actually liked her response. Because if you check likes, and then I say he, but they stopped conversing with Doxy. Yeah, it was almost one of those things where like, I think like that might not have been a bot. I think that might have been a person that thought that they were going to have a healthy debate, but like from a terrible perspective or angle, I should say. Perspective is different, but angle maybe. And then they were like, okay, I think I'm good. This is just like, They realized that one of their friends tried to dive in and be like, hey, let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
Shh, come on, let's go. Like, we don't need to be at this bar. We don't need this. There's another bar literally across the street. Come on. Let's go. But
I was sad that one of the worst commenters in that was an Australian one. I'm like, no, why are you on their side?
wow. Well, I mean, different people, different ideas of. The important thing is that when it comes to those like racist and harmful tweets overall, you go in like a huntsman and you kind of like target and take out each individual tweet that you need to with precision. I can't do it with a straight face. Oh. All right.
Anyway, let's move on to the realm where I'm screwed.
All right. Well, hi everybody. How are we doing today?
Melting, but good.
Melting, but good. Neil? You don't know?
I'm me. I'm a bit ill.
You're a bit ill?
As per the life of someone with autoimmune disease and etc.
Is the wifey gonna make you a soup or something?
We might have some leftover Dominoes. We had Dominoes last night.
That's not soup.
If I wanted soup, we could have soup, all right? You know, there's French onion soup in the freezer that I made so much of that I did it in 2 pots and pans.
Okay.
It was great. And it was all, you know what the worst thing about that recipe, right? I was cooking. It was all in fucking imperial. So it's not like, oh, I know vaguely how much this is. It's like, use ounces of this and ounces of that.
God,
Why was it in imperial as opposed to metric?
Because it was some boomer chef's recipe.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
So it like called for however many ounces of butter, and I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. And then I'm like, okay, I put the entire stick of butter in now. That's what it wanted. It wanted 250 grams of butter.
Holy shit.
It's 1/4 kilogram of butter. I mean, admittedly, it was going in to make like many, like it also had like 8 pints of vegetable and 6 pints of, or 4 pints of beef stock. So it was like a lot. But like, Jesus, come on.
That's not that much butter.
I mean, it was quite a bit.
I mean, you've never had Southern cooking, have you?
Oh, God.
You've been putting 5 sticks of butter in there.
But I mean, that's different because they've got a lot of cold weather, so they need to pile on the extra calories to.
Is this
survive.
like the person?
Are you referring to Texas?
Yeah, that's south in your country, by the way. That's south of you, Scott.
Yeah, it's so cold down there. Yep.
I mean, it is right now.
Yeah.
So, I rest my case.
They're like, it's like 50 degrees out right now for like 5 days. Let's just cry and kill all of our power supply stations.
Well,
it's actually a legitimate
like,
problem for children and
I think
whatnot.
they actually said it's 30 degrees.
Yeah. It's
whatever
it's
that.
Actually,
again, I have no concept of what that
that'd
is.
be like -1 for you. That's actually legitimately a health concern for older and young people. If you're in the middle, if you're one of us, one of us
as well,
will be
because our houses over here are made of bricks with insulation in between the bricks, whereas a lot of American houses are made of like paper mache with air in between the paper mache.
Down south, yes.
Yeah, of course, but
Seattle
that's why it's a
well,
problem, right?
The suburbs in Seattle, at least the suburbs that I went through, I was like, why are all these houses look like they're paper thin walls?
They may have been.
Like,
I don't know.
It just didn't look sturdy. Like it was just.
This is. I was talking to Josh about this last night. How like they're talking about buying a house, whatever it is, and they're like she likes like newer houses, and I'm like, no, anything built after 1970 is trash. It's just absolute garbage. Like it's held together by like duct tape and hope. I mean, it's just not good. You have to have older houses. Well, that's he's like, oh, the boomer's coming out. I'm like, no, it's just old houses. Like, let's say you wanted a beam that was like a 6x6, right? That means it's 6 inches by 6 inches, and then however long that is, right? Nowadays, if you build a house with a 6x6, the standard of what a 6x6 is now is actually 4 3/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches, but it still has the same tests that it's allowed because of the new pressurized treatments or whatever for it. So you literally have less beam doing the same workload, hoping that the pressurized treatment is going to hold it. And I'm like, cool. So now you have these houses that like Brittany deals with because she deals in like a large rental property where she works. So she has contractors that come and do work at her property that they'll talk to them about like their other jobs too. And there's this one guy that has always been consistently good and readily available, but as of 2 winters ago has become very inconsistently available to them. And he's like, no, you don't understand. He's like, I'm making money hand over fist because all these people with their new built houses, when wintertime comes, snow goes on the roofs literally collapse in on the house.
Yeah,
because it can't support the weight of the snow. Yeah. Yeah. And it started 2 years ago where like the winters become, winters are kind of shorter but more extreme. So for us, the winter really kicks in like February and March and it's extreme and then it goes away. But like December, January, it's not really a thing. Whereas it used to be lighter but spread out.
Climate crisis.
Oh yeah, of course. Like we all understand this, right? But like all the old houses, no issues.
Bill Gates apparently, I didn't read the article. I just saw the headline, suggested that in Western countries we should move to 100% synthetic beef.
Well, you see, Bill Gates is really a huntsman when it goes for hot topics. He really wants to kind of like focus in on those like button issues and kind of like get his name out there so he could stay on the top of popularity and table.
I mean,
I'd perfectly be fine with
I'd be down for it. Grow me my beef in a 3D printer, whatever. Okay.
I'm 100% happy with that as long as it tastes good.
I am not 100% happy with it yet. No, I mean,
well, that's because
I'm with you there, Scott. I'll jump into that camp.
Yep. Let's see where technology goes. So.
Well, I mean, look, it's that, or you're going to be eating crickets. So.
I mean, I'm fine with trying new different cuisines.
I would definitely. I mean, imagine
crickets and jellyfish.
He's like a bunch of crickets, honey glazed, little bit of soy in there.
One of my favorite lines.
I'm not down for jellyfish. I'll be honest. Like I would try it, but I wouldn't look forward to it.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines in Cyberpunk because they talk about locust pepperoni pizza.
Nice.
I mean, at least we know that when the Armageddon starts and the first wave comes in, everybody's got food. You know, like that's a good thing, right?
You're talking about the traditional plague of locusts.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that was actually the old one, not how actual Armageddon will come. That's just a kind of like pestilence.
You understand, of course, that the French will rule the world in the final days because frogs will rain from the sky.
I've actually, I don't think I've ever had frog legs. Like I've had escargot, but like I don't know, frog legs. I know it sounds bad because I eat all
they're
sorts
an
of animals,
entire different order. You know, like snails and frogs. They're not the same.
I'm going to use the word controversial, but that's obviously not entirely correct in this situation. But two like controversial meals that are classically French are escargot and frog legs.
Notorious.
Yeah, notorious. That's better. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. So escargot and frog's legs. I don't know, frog's legs. Like I feel more inclined to eat a bug than I do about eating a frog. It just feels.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe it's because like I'm like, what about Hermit? And
I mean, I can't imagine
Kermit and
I can't imagine the frog's legs are particularly meaty, but like I imagine they're like a nice little morsel, like like spicy chicken wings.
Yeah.
Maybe less fat though.
Prepare the right way, and maybe like not looking like a frog, like the little fin there. I think might.
Well, you don't eat that bit.
No, but like like a chicken leg is still like the bone and everything attached, usually the skin, and kind of tear into it. But like a little cute little foot there, I'd be like, oh, and then I don't know.
You wouldn't? Oh, you like frogs that much, huh?
I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know.
Frogs aren't really that cute. Tadpoles are cute.
No, frogs are cute.
Excuse me, Otto. You wash your mouth out with soap.
I just wish
you filthy animal.
The thing that I'm sad about with frogs is that you can't hold them and cuddle them for long periods of time because their skin is so absorbent that you have to thoroughly clean your hands so you hold them, and you can't hold them for long. That makes me sad.
Is very, very much a god tier food.
Oh hell yeah!
What is a god tier food?
A food that is at the top of tiers, above S tier.
No. What is god tier food?
Cheese.
Above S tier.
I don't think you understand what I'm asking. What are you referencing as being god tier?
Cheese.
Oh, depends on the cheese. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. but you can't. Sil just said in chat most cheese is ass anyway.
Well, it still's wrong. So, I mean, there are some cheeses that are just absolutely amazing. So, I don't know.
Oh, there are some fantastic cheeses out there, guys.
Yeah. I was trying to...
one of my favorite cheeses on the French hype, because, we're having a bit of a French day today. Oh, wait, later on we're going to get in combat and surrender. And then you'll be like, oh, it's a French thing. I'm British. It's okay for me to have this banter with French people.
I think that makes it worse.
No. Hundreds of years. This is what we fought for. Camembert, one of my favorite cheeses. Camembert rates so highly. Far superior to Brie. Anyone who thinks Brie is better than Camembert
is awesome.
God, they foolish. This was French used to cut off the English longbowman's fingers.
Yeah, we talked about this at this point years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
God. Kids, they used to chop off the two fingers.
I think it was. I think it was one of Ollie's streams. Oh, maybe not.
I'm pretty sure I was a part of that conversation. At least I was listening to it. Whether I was
like the
fact.
It's been said in
how true it is. How true it is. I don't know, but I like the fact.
Huh? I mean, we'll just say it's true. Fight. It's true.
Right then, for once, Scott actually is the one who wants to get back into games, so I think maybe we should allow him.
I was killing time to see if, because the viewer count was a little bit lower than usual, to see if others were going to trickle in. Apparently not. So cool, we're good. So
you killed it, Scott.
Oh, I'm fine with it. That's cool.
You changed it to PW.
Oh, so nobody wants to be here anymore?
No, yeah, they all turn up for Kingmaker. They want Raerin.
Daddy rewards were fixed a while ago. Refresh. So anyways, yeah, you are, what were we talking about? Oh, nothing. Where did we leave off? What we played last?
Once more with
I just had the mock fights.
That's
Yeah, I got
right.
knocked out.
That's right. You got put in your place like a little, neutral character.
once more with feeling.
That's right. The triple crit happened.
Hey guys, Daelric just subscribed.
Once more with feeling.
Oh, really scraping the bottom of the
Wait.
Hey. No, so what was it saying? The fuck my brain. When you become a partner, as opposed to being an affiliate, you can actually have a certain number of like set subscribers that are permanent, locked in. You can never change out who they are, but they are always subscribed to tier 3 infinitely. And you usually use that for, you could have 2 bots and 3 people. I think it is, or it's 3 bots and 2 people, however it goes. And so you have to like select them very carefully. And it's really cool for like the partnered channels, but for an affiliate, you get none.
You want to know something real interesting? So Jesse Cox. Yeah, he had a Twitch channel from when it was Justin TV, when they had a different subscription thing where you subscribe once and you're subscribed permanently. And he, because he's had it since then, when it switched to Twitch, he's kept that. And they keep asking him, do you want to change it to the other one? He's like, no, I like this one. And they keep trying to get him to change it back, apparently.
Yeah.
But he's got it's just subscribe once and that's it.
Yeah, of course they're asking him because they offer it gives them the ability to beat people out. Yeah, but for those that have been with him since the beginning, that's amazing. So when I used to do that other campaign with him forever ago, we talked about a couple of other things that he kind of got grandfathered into that's super beneficial for him, and it's kind of like, hey, get it if you got it,
Yeah,
good for you, man. So I won't go into those details because I don't know how much of that is said out loud or said not out loud. So, but he has a couple of other details that are like beneficial, and it's like, cool, fuck yeah, good for you. So, but he made me watch the entire Clone Wars cartoon series. So I say this lovingly, fuck Jesse Cox. The show's trash.
I need to watch that.
Oh god, so bad, so bad.
See, I'm gonna go with the people who say it's good and just enjoy it.
It's not good.
Some of it's quite good.
If you see an episode with Jar Jar Binks in it, honestly, it doesn't pertain to the rest of any episodes whatsoever. Just skip it. Straight up skip it. It's trash.
Love a bit of Jar Jar Binks on Rodian or wherever that planet is.
Rodania?
I don't know.
Do you want to...
So speaking of
yeah.
Rodian, which is an aquatic planet, they have boats there. We're on a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
okay, good.
This image was made by, it says it right here, which I don't think you can see on stream, but it says at Wugginot is the artist. I thought this was a beautiful picture.
It is. Why don't you pop
much so.
his at in chat?
Well, I can just spell it. Wuggynaut. Wugginot. All right. So, anyways,
I feel that.
there we go.
I also feel that today. I'm running on low power mode.
I feel that with my 5 current strength.
Oh, way to tie it in. So you guys finished fighting each other, and you had your little bit of post fight each other chat too. I believe where Jake got knocked the fuck out, and you kind of went over and helped him up afterwards, and I think everything was fine. And at one point in time, as you guys kind of like finish this up, and you're gonna go show them to their rooms. I don't know if I mentioned what the rooms look like or not, but you can go show them.
I think that was right when we cut. Was when we were being shown to our rooms.
So, because the fact that this boat, the ship that's here, whether it was originally built here, or whether if it was built elsewhere and somehow got brought here and retrofitted, or whatever the case may be, because this is an actual ship that actually has to worry about, like, displacing water and having the hull designed a certain way to withstand the pressures of the sea and et cetera, et cetera. The underdeck is designed very differently. You also have, option directional gravity as well. So again, the hull is designed very, very differently than you would typically have. So when you guys go walking down below deck, as I described beforehand, there's a whole bunch of stuff kind of on the various different walls, kind of like strapped to or pinned in place on the various different walls, all 4 of them down below. And you can kind of, almost like in Ender's Game, jump across the middle area to get to where you need to with rather precision.
Well, if we could float here yet.
Not you two, but everybody else. And that's for like the primary hull area that's there. And then once you actually go below deck even more, you can actually see it's a similar situation for how it is the bedding situation is put together. Except the bedding situation is kind of interesting because you have to imagine almost like how a beehive has a bunch of different honeycombs throughout it. The way that the beds are situated inside the place, you have them covering the various floors or walls or ceiling or whatever you want to call it inside the chamber that actually has the beds. And between the different walls, because gravity exists generally, there's a honeycomb network set up, so you actually have a bunch of them. I don't want to say suspended in the middle of the floor, but kind of like barely held onto. So they're kind of like set in the middle. So when you're trying to get to where it is that your bed will actually be, you actually kind of have to swim through almost, or jump and kind of precision guide yourself through these holes, through this like honeycomb chamber to find where your actual bed might happen to be. And that's the general quarters for the general staff member or crew member of the ship. Other people, like say the captain and the various officers, they'll have their own area because they'll need more space to do more than just sleep. So when you guys are brought to where it is that your bed is going to be, you're brought into the place, and the first thing you're going to do is try to honeycomb, kind of dive through and almost like swim again, but there's no actual water to pull yourself through these different areas. So kind of like a astronaut in space, kind of grabbing things and guiding yourselves along. You're going to try to navigate yourself through here. I'm going to have both you guys roll me a fly check, please.
Okay.
No.
No.
Yeah, do acrobatics instead.
My acrobatics is actually better, and wow, I'll take that.
Acrobatics would be better because acrobatics has an understanding of utilizing gravity for what it is that you're trying to do. They're not. It's out of their realm. Cool.
Ooh.
So it looks like
I'd argue against that.
looks like you guys did well. Hey, quick question: either of you guys have ranks in fly?
Nope.
Cool. So you get a 10. Both of you guys clumsily try to make your way through the area and end up kind of like spilling into areas here and there. One point in time, one of the two of you, Jake rolled lower. Jake accidentally knees somebody in the side of the head as he's like the back of the head as he's going along, and they wake up angrily. And it's like, I don't know if Grishka would say sorry or just kind of like give like a oops look. But as you're making your way through, Neil, you kind of get the impression maybe having them go to the back of the, generally speaking, you don't want to be in the back. The back is like where the worst beds are. But having them go in the back might be more of a punishment for everybody else than it would be for them being like the new people here. You might be better off,
Drop the ball, the chain, ball and chain on someone. Oops.
yeah. So that being said, you might be better off having them stay inside the front. So you end up like getting another person to wake up and like grab their stuff and get the stuff off another bunk nearby and tell them, yeah, you're gonna have to go out back there. And they're like, hey, you can't tell me what to do. You kind of gesture towards the other two, and they like look at them angrily, then see them fumbling about, and they're like, oh, for fuck's sake. And they get their stuff and kind of like, move to the back again with ease and precision, putting them kind of like in the front beds to the entrance to this chamber. Now, it's funny I say the entrance to this chamber because much like how I was describing beforehand, anything can be a door, a wall or a floor, so on and so forth. There's not just like one door in. There's multiple ways into this chamber that lead out to other chambers because the entire area down under deck is more like, again, almost like a beehive, utilizing the option directional gravity to their advantage. So when your characters are finally brought to where your chamber is so you can sleep, I imagine after everything you've been through, I don't know if the two of you actually would sleep or as Neil's character, Raerin, would want to go about what their duties are. If you'd end up almost sitting there, having a moment of relative peace from the others about you, and have an opportunity to kind of like...
I didn't think we could sleep.
You can rest.
You're right.
Technically.
The thing is, you can't work nonstop, right? Like that would actually be even more draining. So, a moment of relative peace. The two of you kind of not alone, but definitely feeling a bit separated because nobody around you really kind of gives a shit what you're saying or might even recognize who you are or anything. But the two of you can kind of have a moment to confer for the first time since you left Nankaru's realm. So the two, your bunks not directly next to each other or across to each other, but close enough nearby. You can either one stand over by the other, or have like a whispered conversation, a loud whispered conversation between the two of you. I'll kind of like pull it down to you guys have an opportunity to actually speak to one another.
This is going to take a lot of getting used to.
Tell me about it. I didn't expect it out of that guy.
Yeah, that was... It was just strange seeing a fight with angles and directions.
Yeah, well, I hope we get used to this quickly. I haven't told you, I think, but traveling in Vroga's realm had a strange sense of direction, similar but different to this, and it was a bitch to get used to.
Joy. Will be useful once we do get used to it, though. Just till then, something to account for.
I guess. I wonder where our first destination is going to be.
Wonder what even destinations are here.
Yeah, he did. Nankara did say we may be going to some other planes, correct?
I believe so. We have that stuff that
That's why he gave us the ring.
attunes us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has the stuff that attunes us to the negative plane if we eat it, I think.
Yeah. And box of seeds. Yeah,
That's right, the seeds. Yeah.
a strange thing.
I worry about that. What that'll do to me. That's something I
never
guess
thought of it
I've
that way.
learned. So apparently, I am positive energy being, but not just as in healing. The back on the negative plane, when the Earth train, the people that were on it, when their positive energy devices that were meant to counter the negative plane activated, it almost resonated with me. Didn't end up well for me, but
Well, you got through it. Probably stronger for it.
I at least have some idea of why I'm different now.
Well, thank Valorant for that one.
Yeah.
Well, I will say I'm a bit worried about your powers. I've seen you used a few spells in our little duel, and I remember them saying that we can't rest. So be wary.
I have. And he pulls out the borrowed time. It's like a little clockwork device that has various cogs and everything on it. This will allow me to borrow rest from my own future. The downside is that rest obviously will catch up with me at some stage. The first time I used it, it still hasn't caught up with me, but that will at least be some ability to reset if worse comes to worse.
Yeah, so only use it in dire circumstances.
Very much so.
Well, I'm going to try and get some rest. They said we can't sleep, but I don't know. I went a bit out of it before. Maybe I can repeat the feat, huh?
Maybe. Yeah, I think what Ilen would probably do is lay down, but also just sort of, because I assume the way that these things work, we're obviously not attuned to the no gravity yet. So he would like try and just try and change the way he's thinking to how things would be once he gets used to it. But obviously this is not a quick process. This is something he's just trying to think about how things would be different.
Properly attuning to the plane actually requires a feat.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be anything like that. I mean, he's just going to try and think of ways to use it to its advantage, so that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Not that I actually come up with anything, but you know, that's what he would be thinking about.
Yeah. So so you guys would lie there in bed and try to grab some rest. Just try to like close your eyes or stare at the ceiling or whatever it is. Just actually grab some degree of rest. I don't know if either of you are really able to do so, considering how this place is just so weird and so different and everything just feels strange. You're definitely welcome to close your eyes. It's up to you as to whether or not your character actually kind of almost like daydream drifts off for a period of time.
Grisha definitely would.
Yeah, I think Ilen would eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. Because of the fact that you are unfortunately not properly sleeping, so you're not properly getting proper dreams happening here. This is more of like the introspective kind of daydreaming happening, where it's very heavily influenced by recent experiences and whatever it is that's kind of on your mind, whatever is weighing in on you. So you can imagine, with Ilen and Grishka, the consequences of their actions when they were in the various planes that they were just kind of, traveling through to be able to finally join back together and get here. And I imagine concern for back home and thinking about Raerin and the state that they left it in, and hoping that they properly put enough legs underneath it.
Just Raerin. Just Raerin.
You know what? Honestly, at some point in time, you're probably like, oh yeah, Roderick? There's the other guy too. What happened to him?
A quick question. What happens about the non-lethal damage that we took in the sparring?
Heals over time.
Okay.
Yeah, while you're kind of like resting here, that actually will heal up. Yeah.
All of it or just some of it?
All of it will heal. I mean, the rate right now doesn't matter because enough time passes or time passes. But it's non-lethal damage. That's more of like you just need a bit to like recover.
There is a question about what happens about my -5. Can I try and heal that? That was the key or weak point thing from Neil's character.
Neil, can only you do that medicine check or whatever it's called, a heal check?
Anyone can do it. Let me double check what the DC is. DC 15 heal check.
And when you touch yourself, it's more difficult than when other people touch you to accomplish your goals.
When a trained person touches you, they have a +10 insight bonus.
Oh, that's right. That's why you do it untrained. Gotcha, because you're trained in that. Yeah, but I was saying heal checks in general, you take a penalty when you're not when you're doing it to yourself. So you can go ahead and roll your heal check, sir. You succeed. You remove 1. Go ahead.
Cool. Come on, keep up the trend. No, that's not keeping up the. That's very much not keeping up the trend.
What happens if you natty? Oh wait, this is the only campaign that doesn't natty 1s, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So nothing bad happens from that because you only failed by 1. You can go ahead. Okay, you succeed.
Come on.
And again, you succeed. So you can imagine after a little bit of time working on yourself, you're able to kind of like.
He hear from his bunk just like the crack, like when someone's like doing the stretches and everything cracking, and it's like it's unpleasant.
You hear from his bunk like shuffling, and then
So after a little bit of time working on yourself, you're feeling a lot stronger. I don't know if you need to do that to Jake at all, if he's missing any.
I'm not.
Are you sure?
No, because his heal checks that would, his heal checks that were done on him were actually competent.
Yeah.
You want to roll a heal check? Anyways, Tess, to see if you can help repair his pride.
I was ready to roll.
Nah,
I was ready for a real thing to be called out then. Anyway.
Cool. So you are after some time you kind of like wake up and you imagine that your character and by the way, Tesha, after another period of time passes and you rest some more, you can imagine you finish to get rid of the others as well. So you can go ahead and remove the rest. I don't mind.
Oh no, that is all of them.
Oh, cool.
That was all of them.
So you your characters are able to kind of get up and get moving and kind of get back out there. You don't know how much time passes, but eventually the two of you will get out of your bunks or these kind of strangely shaped beds and look about the rest of the ship. Looking at the rest of the ship, you can see that there's not much more that it has to offer below deck. It has the storage area that has all those supplies that we talked about beforehand. There's this bedding area that's here. There's a long, so that first narrow area that's right below deck. There's two small chambers that look like it's where all the supplies are for combat. where you can kind of like jump into one of these holes real quick, grab what you need, and bring them back out for like refueling or is that resupplying that what's needed for the major combats that might happen with other ships or whatever else you might encounter out here, as well as a bunch of additional supplies for things like sabers and bucklers and stuff like that for people that might need it, bandages, et cetera, et cetera. And then you also have the other part of the deck, which is the part that's kind of like built in the back, where if you go to the actual back of the ship, there's like a hole that you can climb into, jump into, whatever. That has half of the back is going to be for the captain, and the other half of the back is going to be for the 3 officers that they keep with them. And the officers, in short, their responsibility is to kind of just keep day-to-day things flowing well, So eventually the 2 of you kind of get up and make your way back out to the ship and beyond, where it looks like nothing's changed. It's just still floating throughout. Nothing out there. Nothing at all kind of catches your eye. Nothing seems to stand out. And I can imagine from here, maybe you want to start trying to get comfortable with the area, comfortable with the people. Maybe you would explore the ship a bit more, like the belly side of it and whatnot. What is it that your character would be doing, Tesh, during this time? Interacting with others? Like, what would your character be doing?
Yeah, I think he probably would be just sort of at least interacting with the people that are on the deck, just trying to get a feel for how things are run. Looking around to see what things he could see that are evidence of should an emergency happen, like where the holes in the deck are for people to go to grab stuff, like things like that.
Gotcha. So you're just getting super familiar with the ship itself?
Yeah.
So as you're getting familiar with the ship, as you just described, one of the other things you're might want to do is actually try your hand at going and checking out that belly side, kind of go around the side of the deck and see if it works. And there's actually a really good test to it.
Terrifying.
As you go over and you're trying to be like, do I go over there? One of the other crewmates is kind of watching you, goes, I see you still got your nanny.
This thing?
Yeah, you say holding up that heavy ball in your flimsy arms.
Yeah.
They go,
oh, yeah, that's the other thing. I guess that's true. It would look really ridiculous.
They say, there's a trick to getting used to it.
Oh?
He says, so you go to the edge of the ship, but you make sure there's like a railing or something nearby you can hold on to, right? And you take that and you throw it off. And then as you throw it off, you try to change it. If you don't do it, well, you better hold on or you're getting pulled. If you do change it, it'll slam into the side of the ship and you're good.
Huh.
You see, that's not just for holding you down. It's to tell you where down is. If you just got dropped into a room and you don't know where you are, you're just flying through the air. Out in a place like this, you don't know where you're falling to or from. There's no point of reference for you to figure that out. But the thing is, when you let go of that, you could see where it's going in relative to you. And so you could see where down is.
I hadn't thought of that.
Wow, do you think it's made out of a sphere? They're aerodynamic. And you look at this guy like, I think I understand what the word aerodynamic means. How the fuck do you know what the word aerodynamic means?
Legitimately, I was about to say I would have a chuckle about the thought of like what the fuck aerodynamic even means here. So the thing is, I have a bit of an issue with holding on to things and strength. Is there any rope around here?
Yeah, you're on a ship.
Okay, any rope that I can use.
He kind of like looks around, grabs some, and tosses it to you. But Tesh, have you ever been on a ship?
Yeah, not one that's been moving, but I've been on one.
like a good old fashioned wooden one.
Yeah.
So you know the thickness of that rope?
Oh, it's like thud all over.
So they like he throws it to you, and you just talked about the concern of heavy things and holding on. It's heavy. Why don't you guys make a reflex save?
Oh god. Yep.
You decide the best thing to do is to not try, and you just gotta step to the side.
Take it.
Just step to the
Oh,
side.
that too, yeah.
It flops to the ground with that, and you said thud, and you're good there. Had you rolled worse, I would have had you drop the ball to try to catch it. It falls on your foot. Like,
Okay. Is this rope too thick to try and tie around me, or is it like it's still usable?
no, it's usable. It's just not supple, right? Right.
Yeah. Okay. Then I want to tie it around me and then tie it around a bit of the railing.
You can go ahead and roll one. What is it? Wisdom check, real quick, to represent all of your efforts here.
Wisdom. So it's okay.
So
That's not okay.
After a considerable time of trying and failing horribly, and luckily that's kind of keeping you secured and safe, and others watching you and chuckling to themselves, and bets and whatnot happening back and forth as to whether or not you'll figure it out. And there's less and less and less people thinking that you're going to get it. The stakes growing higher and higher and higher, and anybody who keeps trying to bet on you, just losing their coin. You eventually realize either A, I should just give up trying this now. I'm not getting it. Or B, well, I still want to check out what's on the other side. At least I could use the rope classically. And you can almost spelunk style lower yourself down there.
Well, do I have anything else that I can use to try and?
Thick can be supple, Viking Magoo. Okay. Are you looking at Jake and tossing that wink? I mean, I know you guys aren't far from one another. Just saying.
Anyway,
He just called you thick, Jake.
Not far. How we're like 11 or 12 hours away, buddy.
How far are we apart, Jake?
If I was to fly, probably like 13 hours away.
13? No, I'm
be
on
honest,
the other side of America.
Oh, you're on the other side. I don't know.
I've seen
like 20?
I've seen you DM for Jake a lot. I think it's likely that when you do meet up, Jake will punch you and feed you to a kangaroo.
Not if he comes stateside, unless we're at a zoo. And
The kangaroos go with him.
That's like an Aussie power. He's like an Aussie summoner. And besides, why did you reference driving to him and flying to me? Why couldn't you fly to him in like 45 minutes?
Because I wanted to make a point that I didn't realize that it was the other side of the US that you're on. So.
Yeah, we're on the opposite sides of the planet from one another.
Yeah.
So, good luck. Rides a kangaroo to America. He's small enough. Jake is short enough to ride a red kangaroo.
Takes one to know one, Scott.
I'm 5'11", as seen.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that.
It's funny. Last night, Josh was like, "I don't know. You look 5'9" to me." It's like, "Fuck you, Josh."
I have an idea. Can I try, instead of dropping the ball off the edge and trying to change the direction of that, can I try lowering the rope, and as it's lowering, try and do what they're suggesting with the ball with the rope?
So yeah, I was saying that this is an amalgamation of all of your efforts. Just that one check right there. Kind of like your character is trying and just doesn't quite get it.
Well, that was the tying. I thought that was the tying the rope to me, so I could then try and.
It was just like an effort of like time elapse. Yeah. You'll eventually get it.
I guess I can't guidance and try again. Okay, well, I guess for now I don't want to end up overboard, so I'll give myself some more time to adapt before I try doing the trickiness that is the flipping the direction of down.
Okay. And so when you go into the underbelly, one of the things that you notice down there is that the underbelly itself also has little...
Oh, I would jokingly give a bow to the people watching. when I give up.
Nice.
And then go back under.
Roll a raw
under.
charisma check on that one. And while you're rolling that, do you see that Viking here saying that you're going to put Joey in your fupa?
Anyway.
So yeah, the total of an 18. People actually applaud. You know, they're actually having a bit of a fun time with it.
Good.
You get a good sense of humor. That's a good thing because you suck. So you know, it means that they can make fun of you, which they're going to do anyways.
They get to wait till combat starts, then we get to have fun.
Is that why you have such a good sense of humor, Scott?
Absolutely, big boy. So you sir, go to the underbelly. One of the things that you notice is that there's also little hatches that exist down there as well, almost like little doors, like flaps, that, you know, kind of like hinged, not quite hinged on like the backside, like you would imagine, like say if you're opening a chest, more hinged on the about 20% in on one of the sides. So it's one of those things where as one side opens, the other side kind of like depresses inwards.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like a door hatch, and you can see that there's several of those along the bottom of the ship as well.
Oh, okay. So I guess that's for where when combat is happening, it's on all sides.
Yeah, for whatever the case might be, right? So walking around, you can kind of see that is down there as well. And I don't know, overall, the thing down here is structured a bit differently. There's iron bands that reinforce a bit of the wood down here. But again, the last thing that strikes you is there's somebody just standing there as you're like hanging from the rope. Somebody's standing upside down from your perspective, just working on, like literally scrubbing off a part of the deck. And they look at you and they're like, you know, hold on, can I do this for you? Yeah, I'm going to see if I can. Yeah, I can do this. Hold on 1 second. This will be fun.
Oh, no.
Where is it? Where is it? No, where is it?
Are we going to get a repeat of Cat Lawyer?
Hey.
Still getting used to it.
Yeah, if you come out here, be careful.
Hence, he points to the rope.
No, I don't think you understand. If you coming down here, just look where you step.
I look at the deck, the upside down deck.
You roll me a perception check.
Oh, goody. Perception, definitely something I'm great at.
How often do you get to have your camera go upside down like this? And it's not because you're being obnoxious.
God damn it.
You're still
a little
being
hard
obnoxious.
to see upside down.
See what I'm doing, Neil? I'm smiling.
Anyway, it's a little hard to see upside down. I imagine I don't see anything with my 9.
So yeah, you don't notice what he's talking about. I don't know if you make that obvious to them or not. Hi, Shinny. I will.
Viking just said he's finally looks the right way up to me.
I would be deliberately looking a bit confused, trying to look, very obviously looking around at what he's talking about.
So when you're kind of like searching around trying to find out what the hell they're talking about, they go, there's spikes, little spikes here and about. They're designed to not be too easy to spot. Yeah, walk careful. Don't step on those.
I imagine that's to deter others. Thank you for the warning.
Yeah.
Go back up to the top deck now. This place is bad. I don't like it.
And you go back up above, whereas you kind of like climb yourself up, and the DM can be slightly less obnoxious. I hate when my camera focuses on my microphone. Hey, buddy.
Up here.
Hey, right here. Hi. All right.
Oh God.
So yeah. You climb back up and you're kind of like looking about that way. Jake, what was your character doing in that period of time?
Well, I need this chain off, so that would be learning how, you know, it works here is top of the agenda. Apart from that,
different sides of the ship.
yeah. Apart from that, he'd actually be doing some light training, I guess, and riding.
Let's see you with your much better wisdom if you get it.
So your wait, hold on. What is a lurk command as opposed to a lurk emote?
Some
Who
people
are you
have
asking?
lurk commands, which just say thank you for lurking or I be lurking.
Oh, so it's just like a typical response. Okay. Cool.
Or people do a lurk to do a command to show that they're lurking, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
It varies from stream to stream.
Gotcha. So it's not like a specific thing. It's just like a
I don't think so.
a triggered
Not
response.
that I know of.
That's okay. All right. Cool. All right. I was like, am I missing something? Am I dumb? No. All right. So yes, for other reasons. So you're kind of like trying to train, get comfortable with what it is that's going on here. The funny part is because of his approach, he's just so like let's just say muscle heavy. Grishka is. His training is not the typical kind of training that you would do for getting used to this kind of area. He's just trying to muscle through it. Where he was before
Vegeta in the gravity room.
So what was I saying? The while you are doing this, it's kind of like when you were in the option. It wasn't option directional gravity. It's the other one, relative gravity, whatever it's called, in the other plane. You just kind of like that down, and you would fall down, and you'd be like, "Ow!" and it would work because you kind of like have like a something to kind of like base it off of, something to kind of like stare at, and you would know that that's where you want to go. It doesn't work like that here. You can't just be like, "No, we fall there." You have to actually choose which direction, which can be any direction, and to which degree you want to fall, and so on and so forth. There's like a constant subtle changes that happen. It requires way more understanding of what it is that you're doing, way more like effort to go into it. And unfortunately, even though Grishka is a very wise character, it's something that comes to him so instinctively. So you can imagine as he's standing there on the deck trying to do this bit of training and almost like sparring with nothing, trying to get used to how to move and how to do things. Other people on the deck would be like, "Hey, you see how he got his ass kicked yesterday? Yeah. I'm going to go take my chances with them." And they'll come up and try to do a degree of sparring with you.
Destroy them.
It's up to you. It's a yay or nay. I'm not telling you they spar with you.
I said okay.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I didn't hear you.
Annihilate them.
I think I couldn't hear you over the screaming huntsman in the background. So, so you.
I make one joke one time, guys. You got to find some new material. Move on.
What joke are you referring to? That's right. You be quiet. So, Jake, they'll come up to you and try to spar with you. So we'll do this again, like rock, paper, scissors style. So the first person that you spar with, you're actually going to do like whether or not the combat goes well for you. Let's start off with can you get the gravity down in that fight? So why don't you go ahead and roll me a wisdom check? And this doesn't mean that you are able to jump around nimbly, right? So unfortunately, you cannot. You don't have the ability to figure it out. You are at the same kind of flat disadvantage that you were with fighting Aurorum, right? So that being said, just to handle the combat in a simple way against this first opponent of yours, you're gonna roll me a flat BAB at base attack bonus check. I can roll first if you'd like.
Roll it if it won't let me click it on the sheet.
Oh, if it does, you might want to click you just do 1d no, because that's going to include your strength. 1d20 plus whatever your modifier is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, CMB is a really good option instead. Again, it includes strength, but it can incorporate so many other aspects of combat. That's a really good suggestion, Steve. Thank you. We'll do that instead, and so I'll adjust my modifier. You can roll your CMB.
But great, okay.
John just does it after he's finished typing it in.
Well, you can just click CMB.
Yep.
Yep.
Up.
right.
There it is.
I'm wait,
Wow.
wait for the response.
You
So
have
Am
a hell of a
I?
modifier.
I wonder if my roll 20 is running slow.
oh, gotcha. Okay, so anyways, and so then of course they do theirs. Oh, I typed it into Twitch and not Roll20 because I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Shut up, you. All right, cool.
He's trying to cancel me. I'm
Oh,
gonna go back to
fucking
the hall.
really?
Goddamn.
What is this?
So it doesn't go
What
well.
the? Wait.
What
He's
is
a sailor.
happening?
He's a sailor, and he's got a +13 combat maneuver.
Yeah,
What level is he?
it's a really good question. And so the
Because
second,
he's level 10.
Hold
Plus.
up. Wait.
yeah,
So they're all level 10.
there might be other factors involved, but
They're all level 10 or hereabouts. Why? Why does the Arbiter need us? If every fucking person in this plane or in the astral plane's level 10, just send in a boatload of adventurers, problem solved.
Wait, yeah, they're higher level than us. What the fuck?
oh, who said they're a higher level? There are many factors that go into what your CMB is. Like Jake is a 2/3 BAB. So Jake at level 10 has what, a 7 BAB or a 6 BAB? As opposed to if you were a fighter, you would have a 10 BAB. You know, there's a bunch of factors that go into it. All right. So anyways, then now, sir, you are also going to roll that wisdom check again after you get the floor wiped with you in the combat with the first person that you spar. Unfortunately, you think you're getting it, but you're just not. Go ahead and roll your CMB.
You are getting better. You're
Yeah.
improving.
Yeah, look at that.
What we're doing is we're making everyone think we're terrible so we can save the day. in the emergency.
I've rolled so terribly.
You really have.
It's getting me back for fucking not rolling on Tuesday.
Well, there you go. And besides, Summon Snake really appreciates your rolling on Tuesday. They were very happy with the results that you delivered. I meant Monday. Monday for me, Tuesday for you. So this time they defeat you as well, but not even though they came in cocky. They came in a bit too cocky. You use that to your advantage easily with your sensing. Your sense of motive is insanely high. So we're kind of reading that on them. You were able to take advantage of it. But unfortunately, it didn't allow you to win the fight. And even though you already lost 2 out of 3, finishing up the rock, paper, scissors format, whatever it is, why don't you go ahead and do one more for the last part? Like, few people that fight you. It's not like it's one person. You're sparring several people. Ooh.
That's more like it.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll your CMB?
Oh my
And
God.
me no longer with my +4 for having the advantage from terrain. I roll trash.
Yes.
I roll
Wipe the
trash.
floor with
Bane
them.
the last person. You
Yeah,
break
it
their
goes from,
spine
like-
over your knee.
Excuse
You
me.
see
If I
that,
didn't
like,
do that with my
click.
33 versus his 16,
Yeah,
then
well, that's your own problem.
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
okay, yeah,
We don't want this guy coming
uh-huh,
back and attacking our people, so we're going to destroy
You know,
him.
you know what it is? It's that like thing where the other fighter mid-fight drops the weights off them and then just like cleans the floor with them.
I love how the astral plane just instantly becomes Dragon Ball Z. Like,
Yeah.
Come on, of course it is.
should have placed a bet on the last fight. Yeah. So, anyways, and then you're kind of like sparring up there, and you actually, it's like a fight. You get like 8 or 9 fights, and you get the shit kicked out of all of them. You get defeated or the shit kicked out of you in each and every one of them. But then finally, when the last fight comes around, it's one of those. They're like, they go to leave you alone. You're like, no, one more. You know, and so one of them, they're like, all right, might as well embarrass this fool. Goes over and goes to fight you. You can imagine this isn't one of their top-notch warriors, but definitely goes over to fight you and is, again, pretty cocky. You get an idea of it. It's not that you can jump and dance around the way that Alarel is able to do easily, but you could anticipate their movements as they're jumping and dancing around, utilizing the gravity to their perspective. And even at one point in time, dare I say, you actually jump and put your feet onto a wall and hold it there for like a solid second and a half, like keeping your feet on the wall for a solid second and a half, allowing you to like parry and counter-strike, throwing them off. And then like as you like slip to fall off that wall back, like as you're down, and you start going down again. It's like as that slip happens, you're actually able to kind of like brace yourself and like kick forward and charge, like shouldering and swinging at them and so on, and just completely overpowering them. And you know, they're on the ground. You've got the sound blade in your hands, which totally makes no noise in your hand, pointed at them, and you know they kind of give in. And others like, all right, nice, yeah. All right.
He's beginning to believe.
Oh, that's awesome. It was funny. Is last night I actually literally downloaded the Matrix GIF to put as like a background, but you can't use a GIF as a background in Zoom. You have to use a video, like a MP4 or an MOV. So you have to convert a GIF into like an MP4 to make it work. Stupid.
I was able to put a GIF in, but it was very unhappy with it.
Yeah.
It was very glitchy.
I watch JPEGs and shit like that. So, and I'm not going to filter it through like OBS to put it in, because everybody that does that, they're so delayed. Like their mouth to sound is like delayed so bad, and I'm like, it's like I just can't look at them. I'm gonna look away.
All my backgrounds are gone. I was going to put on the GIF. It was going to be fire in the background, but it's just gone.
So anyways, yeah, you defeat this last one, and others are once again kind of like cheering it on and being, and you can imagine as you're kind of climbing up from your rope, and which is a struggle for you, and climbing back on deck, you look up and you actually see Jake standing over somebody. Grishka standing over somebody, having defeated them in combat. Alarel, I imagine you were going about your tasks and chuckling to yourself as you watch these two fools make fools of themselves. You also are thinking to yourself, like, oh, that guy that he beat, cool. Like, that wasn't that impressive. But overall, you can see that they're at least putting effort into getting comfortable here, right?
Alarel is distinctly doing no tasks.
Well done.
He's just sitting. Is he sitting in the crow's nest watching?
You know, there's some crates on deck with a sheet over them, designed to, you know, like a tarp, heavy linen. He's just like settled nicely in one of those. He's not really that visible. It's like a hammock, but
just trying to stay out of sight. A cat's nest for a cat nap. That's cute. That's cute. So anyways,
guys, cats are not foxes. That's offensive.
To be fair, foxes dogs running on cat software. So
Wow.
I saw one the other day. I was stuck on a call coming home.
Sorry, I heard something totally different.
yeah, what?
I heard I was sucking her, and then I was like
stuck.
Stuck. That's what it sounded like.
Like
I was like, okay.
Yeah, stuck. Like when Neil leaves the bathroom and you go sit in the toilet, you're like, oh, ugh. So I was stuck on a call, and I was driving, so I did kind of like a couple loops in my neighborhood rather than just pull into my driveway. That way, you know, Rory's not like, oh, I see Daddy, you know. And I saw a fox like run across the street, but like it was like a decent sized one. I was like, ooh. I love like there's like small ones around here, and there's like decent sized ones. They're so cool looking. I imagine the small ones could just be young, or they could be different species. I have no idea, or not species. Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, you you kind of like witnessing all this happening. When kind of like the rejoicing of kind of how everything plays out or whatever, it ends in kind of abruptly ends when the person that's actually in the crow's nest that's up there spotting about calls down and says, calls down to like the group down below and says, "Get the captain up here." And you know, when you hear that kind of like warning happening, people are like, oh shit, and people fall out for what it is that they're doing. And excuse me, one moment. Hi, Rory, come here. Rory is heading over to my brother's house to spend time with her cousins. So, hi, baby.
Ooh, your scene is awesome.
Oh, what's behind us looks really cool. Yeah, it's beautiful. Look. Not only is that really cool thing, if I move over, there's a boat. Here, look.
It's a boat?
Yeah, come closer to me.
It's a boat?
Yeah, come closer.
Oh, there's the boat.
Yeah, is that cool? It's just the washing. Why the sign?
It really scares me.
Oh, the washing machine down here scares you? Oh, you see it?
Noise.
You see it got the two lights set up?
Yeah?
Yeah, isn't that super cool? Is it a little bright?
Yeah.
I can make it like really bright. You want to see it really bright? Watch this. Which one do you want me to make really bright?
Both of them.
Both of them? Okay, I'm gonna make this one bright first. Ah! Oh no! I made it red. That is a silly pants. Ah! And I make this one even brighter. Ah! Oh gosh! Oh god! It hurts.
Now it feels like.
Don't you think it's strange that Scott just sits in his basement, just
right
flashing
here.
people on the internet? Just...
Wow, Neil. Wow, Neil. But look, I can make the light turn red. Watch this. Is that cool? No, that's a very
That
red
actually
light.
makes you look more human, Scott.
Excuse me, Neil.
Like, for a minute there, I was like, he's not a slowco.
A slowco, thanks. So you gonna go have fun with your cousins? Are you cold down here? Yeah, I had to plug that light in. I had to unplug this heater over here.
It's not the coldness. It's just the noise that's sailing me all the time.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, you woke up cold? Yeah, we kept the house so warm for Josh and Esme yesterday, didn't we? Yeah, they had the house at 70 degrees, and they were complaining it was cold. Like, oh my God. We're like, this house is so warm right now. We're like sweating. And they're like, yeah, we're cold. I was like, well, put on a hoodie. What's the matter with you? Like, why are you wearing a t-shirt if you're cold? Like, what are you doing? Like, yeah. He was like, we keep it at 75. We're like, what the fuck? Like, oh, sorry. I'm just stream brain. I know. Holy Rory, sorry. Stream brain. Sorry. Bad daddy.
This is what Daddy was saying. Language.
Yeah, language.
Mean.
Yeah, sorry. All right, you gonna go have fun with your cousins? Yeah. I appreciate the good morning cuddles.
And my hands are freezing.
Oh, the cuddles get your hands are cold.
My hands.
Oh, yeah, yep. When you wash your hands, it makes them cold. No, come here. Let me see.
Guys, I think this is evidence of child abuse. Like, he's not keeping the house warm enough. His poor child's freezing. he's...
Hey, did I get my 3 hugs? Yeah, okay. That's hug number 2. We previously discussed 3 hugs and 2 smooches. Smooch. Mwah. Hug. Okay.
It's so adorable.
Sorry, that was my headphone. Do you want to say hi? Want to say? No? Okay, there you go. All right, Mommy's rushing you. Let's go. Let's not annoy Mommy.
Love you, Daddy. Bye.
Are you grabbing coffee? Oh, of course.
Would you let Britt know I love her?
Neil would like you to know that he loves you. She loves you too. Andrew, did you hear that?
No.
She said, she's like, oh. Oh, there you go. She's like, oh, I love you too. Andrew Man Bun.
Great.
Yeah.
That was a lot more cuteness than I was prepared for today.
Yeah, same. I don't think I'm prepared to murder some astral entities anymore after all that cuteness. Maybe we could just retire.
I can make them completely red. If you'd like. Is that
Well,
better?
make the astral entities completely red. Like that's I'm gonna be like,
Wait,
I wasn't gonna murder them, but they're all red, so sure. Red is the color of blood and power.
I can make them red. All right. So, anyways,
I'm gonna just.
Astral bunnies. I'd like some astral bunnies.
so you guys,
Astral whales.
You call for the captain, and then you see the captain. She makes her way from where it is that she steps out of, from in the back half of the ship, the hole that leads to the chambers for her and her officers. She kind of as she steps into where the hole is, she just kind of gives a little bit of it. And again, I don't want this to sound like this is the Hulk doing one of his huge, city jumping hops that he does, right? This is a graceful little hop, like a hop, like you're hopping up one step on a stairwell, right? Like a little hop, and then she glides with precision up and over to where the crow's nest is, where she puts a hand out and easily kind of flips over the railing and gracefully stands inside the crow's nest, where the person that's with her hands her what looks like a spyglass. I mean, you guys know what a spyglass is, and they're very expensive pieces of equipment. Even in
someone reread Ender's Game with this. I'm getting very Ender's Game vibes from all of this.
Oh, that's funny. I love Ender's Game as a book, but again, the movie's trash. She grabs the spyglass and she looks outwards. And for a couple of moments, the two of them are having a bit of a dialogue. And the ship down below, the two of you that are new to this place are getting everybody's quiet and watching, looking up, and just waiting. Some that have important tasks might be mindlessly continuing the task, but for the most part, everybody's just kind of still and watching.
I cast a spell.
Sure.
Thanks.
Can I do detect magic?
Sure.
Aurorum would get up off his ass and beckon to you two. Come here.
Ilen would do so if he got off detect magic beforehand or not. He would come over and whatever.
Having a history of being a drug dealer, it's pretty easy for Ilen to get off. So, you imagine that he pops his spell and joins over that way. I imagine Grishka joins over as well.
Yeah, I can't say anything.
We didn't roll a perception check yet. So you're welcome to, as you kind of, hey, guess what? You perceive him saying that. So as you maybe make your way over to him, you can look up and try to make your perception with that plus 20 on there.
Thank you.
The only thing I wanted to get from mine is if there was any sort of magic coming from anywhere but the ship.
Well, Jake, you couldn't crest double digits?
Magic.
Holy
fuck.
You couldn't beat a 50?
You realize that's still double digits, right?
No.
I hate to teach you about this scope, but
on
over a 50 and below a 50.
The natural die number, silly bum. And what are you doing, Tesh?
I just wanted to know if there's any magic coming from anywhere but the ship. If there's an innate magic to this place, or there's literally nothing in this, not even magic, sort of.
So the first and foremost, everything is emanating with magic.
As in everything with the ship.
The ship has a lot of magic tied to it.
Yeah.
A lot's tied to it. And as well as many of the people on the ship have a decent amount of magic emanating off of them as well as the astral plane is actually a plane that is very pro magic. Magic is powered up here. So even the plane itself is powerful at magic.
That's what I was looking for. So is there a natural sort of flow of magic here?
Mm-hmm. And could you go ahead and roll me a will save?
Oh god, that bad, huh?
Your eyes are about to be pulled from your head.
Oh.
You're about to be properly scuffed. Oh, somebody knows how to roll a die. So with your will save right there, 24 is pretty high. Yeah, he's gonna come at me like a huntsman, while I'm sleeping at night.
Anyway.
Yeah, but one with an axe.
So anyways, the shit, what was I saying? Sorry. The looking out there, it is genuinely blinding with how much light kind of comes at you at once. How much it is you're all of a sudden able to see all at once. It's eye piercing. You're kind of like when you see me turn these lights on super bright all at once. It hurts for you, and so you are able to kind of hold it together though and pierce through, see the things that I discussed, but beyond that, despite the pain, you unfortunately aren't able to see anything above, beyond, or whatever that stands out. So if you imagine if you're standing in the middle of the day looking for a light in the sky, you don't see any shimmering lights beyond.
What I more was looking for was if I could use detect magic to sort of get a sense of movement in this place.
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, aside from being very bright, it looks the same. So there's a backdrop of magic here, but it's not like the plane itself is so bright that it's just the ship has so much magic on it.
Okay, then I just drop it because something's going on and I need to not be blinded for it.
Grishka, she's looking out at something, but you don't know what it is. You can't see with your 43 what it is that she's looking out at. But part of that too is that 43 is great and all, but who knows what it is that thing in her hand does for her that allows her to see what she's able to see. So she's standing there, they're having a conversation. She eventually pulls the thing off of her eye. They continue chatting for a bit. Neil, the two of them walk up to you. Go ahead.
He's got nothing else to do at this point. He was just preparing, bringing them closer, seeing as he's a little bit responsible for them.
So they're like, what? And you're like, what? Like, what? And you're like, what? It's just kind of like one of those exchanges.
No.
Does happen often?
He calls them over and then he continues looking up. There's no more engagement. No. I can't think of the word I want. Gratuitous whatting.
After she finishes her conversation with them, she grabs she has the eyepiece, the spyglass again, looks up one more time. Again, looks at kind of like at a very specific spot. You can tell, Jake, very specific spot. You can tell that she looks at. She hands him the spyglass back, and then I should say hands her the spyglass back, and grabs over the railing, hops off of it, and glides gently down to where the helm is. Where as she approaches the helm, the person that's the actual helmsman themselves will take a step back, and she'll grab hold of the helm and start teetering it and pulling it, and utilizing the magics of the ship to not make it just go either to the left or the right. I think it's when you yaw goes one way and there's nothing to go this way. She actually makes it so the ship. No, yaw is going up, right? Yeah, that's yaw. Yeah, that's yaw.
Pitch and yaw.
Yeah, because pitch is down, yaw up.
No, they do.
No, the axes.
So it's
yaw,
pitch and roll.
And pitch and roll. That's right.
And roll,
so it's pitch is up. That's right. Yaw is this way. Yeah. Sorry, I was going back to my Elite Dangerous days. There were very few, and very long ago. I
need to play more of that game.
Dude, that game is amazing. It's so good. So I've only played it I only have maybe like 30 or 40 hours in on it, and I wish I had time to do more. That game makes you want to have a VR headset.
I had fun literally just becoming a trade route driver, just because it was fun to figure out the best trade routes and stuff like that.
I just followed Rick. He'd say, come do this thing, and I'd be like, okay, and I'm just like, this is just so beautiful, I just don't want to stop. So anyways, tilting the pitch to make sure that the thing actually goes upwards, which how she does it, you have no idea. The thing actually, funny enough, Neil, you know that the ship is shifting upwards and heading in that direction. The two of you have no idea. Again, it's not like an elevator where you can feel the elevation change, right? And continues moving. It looks like she's just kind of going over there, and it looks like she does nothing. But just continues floating, like, why'd she take the helm? But everything shifts and she starts going in a direction. This travels on and everybody's rather quiet for several minutes time, or what you perceive to be several minutes time. Do any of you have a conversation amongst one another, or do you kind of keep it to yourselves for now? Because the whole ship is kind of quiet.
I'll keep it to myself and just continue looking out where everyone seems to be looking.
I would probably should we be preparing anything?
I'm not sure what's going on. So, preparing might not be that useful, but be ready.
So after that goes on for, again, several minutes' time, it's a little bit of whispered chatter amongst the various persons about on the ship with one another. there's a little bit of chatter about here and there, but for the most part, it's rather quiet. Eventually, you hear the person that's up at the crow's nest will kind of call down, Captain, and she'll step away from the helm. The person that was on the helm before will take over, and she will, again, with a very big hop, she'll gracefully jump through where the sails in the center of the ship are. Because remember, the sails kind of like spread out along the sides of the ship and have a shimmering color to them. She jumps through where they are and goes all the way to the bow of the ship, all the way to the very front, where when she goes up there, there's what is another mast, like another stick that comes off the front of the ship. Though this one has no sails off of it, she walks along that thing, not along its thinnest point, right? But definitely along the thicker portion of it, up and out a bit, where she'll then stand there for another, again, minute or so's time, where then she reaches out. And Jake, you can finally see this. There's something approaching the ship, or the ship is approaching something, but it's not large. It's maybe about this big in size, right? Like it's not particularly large. Whatever it is that's there. And then she eventually will reach out as it approaches, and she grabs it. And as she grabs it, she takes it, turns, and does a little bit of a hop over to the very back of the ship and goes under deck to where her, again, the captain's quarters are, calling up the name of one of her officers to join her down there. And so you can see the other person just immediately turns and goes down to the area below. There's a bit more chatter about one of the others. One of the other characters that are on the ship comes over and goes, "Did any of you get a good look of what it was?" And Jake, perception check. Good boy.
Oh, fucking Jesus.
56. Jesus.
Jesus. Look, I want you to take that and show it to the 5e campaign and see how they react.
I mean,
Yeah, just screenshot that and just put it in the other channels.
With no context, just that.
so you guys are brains
we're
at
not
work.
pirates.
You guys are. So Jake, you look to see what it was, and you can actually see that the thing that they grabbed from the sky, it looks like it was a bit of wood with bands of metal on it. Almost imagine if you imagine it being kind of like part of a like a whiskey barrel, right? It's like a wooden barrel with like the metal bands going around. So kind of like how that is. That's on there, but definitely a bit jagged. So the wood and the metal look like it's been separated from whatever it was attached to rather forcefully, because the edges to it are jagged and sharp and so on. The coloration of the barrel is like a darkened, almost like a medium brown, right? As opposed to like that light honeyed color you can imagine you see most barrels as being, right? So it's like almost like a medium colored brown. And the metal itself, you think you saw bits of red on it, almost like it had a bit of rust on the metal bands that were there. That's what you witness. So they come over and the person's like, "Did you see what that was?"
I did. Then I would describe in precise detail exactly everything that you just said.
Which, considering that Alarel and Ilen got no sight of it at all, really. It's one of those things where you give that kind of detail, they kind of look at you like, "Oh, what do you think it is? You think it's a bit of ship?"
Let's bloody hope not. Piece of ship.
Yeah, you think they're out here?
I think it's likely.
Oh, man. Last run-in we had with the huntsman, it didn't go well.
I'm going to send you a package and I'm going to put a huntsman in like the package. So when it arrives, you open it and it just runs up your arm.
I know, like, be like, here's a bunch of bananas.
That'll be fine. I'll put some
Like,
holes in the box.
Here's
Really
a bunch of
tiny ones that it can't
bananas.
fit through.
Or you could get an egg sack.
Oh, Jesus.
So he opens it.
that.
Just...
I want you to know that it is against the law to ruin ecosystems. unless you're a corporation. You're not allowed to do that in the Americas.
So okay, just include something to immolate them immediately afterwards.
Well, that's horrible, but also good.
But also America. Wait, what?
Sorry, I got my AK. I'll handle it.
That's what it's interesting because like I can deal with spiders, but when those egg sacs open, that's fucking terrifying.
It's quite terrifying, yeah.
So
There's got to be people in America that have actually shot spiders.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
of course.
100%.
But when I was I can't remember, was Brittany with me? No, it was when I was a teenager. So when I was a teenager, I was out on vacation up in Maine at a cabin in Maine, and you have to understand, like, these cabins are, you want to talk about paper thin walls and whatnot. These are meant for summertime use only because there's no insulation. So like a cabin out there, and I remember I was in the bathroom dropping a deuce. And all of a sudden, I remember seeing these like little black dots, and I didn't know what they were. But there's the little black dots in the wall. I was like, "What is that?" And then I look up, and in the corner of the bathroom, there was like an area the black dots are coming from. You're like, "There's a fucking spider nest hatched." And no, granted, we're talking about, New England spiders aren't that large or bad for the most part. Again, the biggest ones that we get are about this big, right? And it most likely wasn't that type of spider. There's probably ones that adulthood
it's
gets like,
just something about the swarming nature of the
Oh, yeah.
babies that's just fucking terrifying.
No, the rest of the vacation,
It's
you
the
saw spiders
worst
in
while
every
you're on the
room.
loo. It's the worst that when you're on the loo, like Jake sent us that picture, and I literally opened it while I was on the loo, and I was like, ruined.
Yeah. Oh no, fuck that.
No, again, it's
Exactly, you're just vulnerable. That's not a spider safe zone.
that makes me think of the movie Arachnophobia, where the woman gets bit by the horrible spider while she's sitting on the. Anyways, so because the spiders like cold, dark places underneath the toilet's perfect. So there's also moisture
They
there.
actually
so-
like warm
Just
places.
let's
Cold,
move
dark
on
places.
from this. All right, I'm done. Come on, guys. Let's either go to break or just keep going.
Wait,
Like,
if spiders
let's
like,
move this along.
if they like cold, dark places, if they don't like cold, dark places, why are they in basements where
No,
it's
they like-
cold and dark?
They like warm places because the basement is still warmer than outside.
Oh, sure, but it's colder and darker than upstairs.
Yeah, well, they probably come upstairs at night.
Well, yeah, that's how they find their way behind, like the tank of your toilet. I couldn't get it out.
This way.
Oh, I started to.
I'll put it this way: spiders are still terrified of us. They'll pick a place we're not likely to be.
Yeah, to be fair, like, I know you're only short, Scott, but you're still a lot bigger than a spider.
I'm taller than both of you, and him too.
I'm afraid you're actually not taller than me, Scott.
Oh no, actually, we're the same height, aren't we?
Well,
Shut
so
up.
you say. So you say.
Shall we go on break since Jake has disappeared?
Yeah, let's have Jake. Let's let Jake have an actual break, guys. We're gonna do a novelty thing, which is we're actually gonna have a break this time, because Scott doesn't give us breaks anymore because he's a fucking slave driver.
They're forcing me.
So now we're forcing him to go on a break. He needs coffee. He can't talk.
I actually do. I haven't had coffee yet.
Yeah,
I've never said that. I've literally never said. My license is 5'11". But okay.